to this episode of The Good, the Bad and the Odd with your hosts, Mark and Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello there.
Right, so it's a Daisy, and I think your selection based on Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
And what did you pick?
I moved over to The Rock. So.
Right, before we go on, did you notice this was a double Daisy, in that
Yeah.
two of the actors... yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realise...
Was there
Hold on.
Paris?
No.
It was someone.
It was William Forsythe, who was the grizzled
Yes.
FBI guy, right?
Yeah.
He was John Goodman's brother in Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
Totally
I
different.
remember that's kind of how I stumbled across it. I was like, I don't really want to use Nick Cage that early. What's some of these other actors been in? Like Michael Bain is like obviously Aliens, and then William Forsythe is like, he's been in The Rock.
Yeah, and actually,
Nick Cage is in that too. Oh.
and the character he played in here is much more the type of character he usually plays. He usually plays quite tough nuts, does William Forsythe, or gangsters, or things like that, or tough cops. So this is much more his wheelhouse, but he was pretty good in Raising Arizona too, actually. So yeah, so 1996, directed by Michael Bay. Okay, I think this is probably his best film.
Yeah, inarguably.
Yeah.
Maybe Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2 have like.
It's
there,
worth
I haven't
looking
seen
at those.
so.
Those are both of those flag in the middle, but they're really good at first acts and really good last acts.
I tell you what I have seen. I've seen the Transformers movies, and I've seen Armageddon.
I like Armageddon. It's stupid, but I like it. I just like it.
And I've seen Pearl Harbor.
That is no. I mean, it isn't. I was going to say I like Armageddon because I like Ben Affleck, but Ben Affleck was in Pearl Harbor and that stunk on ice, so maybe not. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, The Rock was his second film, right? Bad Boys was his first, and The Rock was his second.
Yeah.
Film. And wow, they gave him
got a strong opening start, and then he just kind of ruined it.
Yeah. I mean, it got some big hits in this. Sean Connery in probably one of his last roles. I mean, his last one was
near his last, isn't? Yeah,
it's near his last. Yeah, but man, is he kicking ass in this? Right?
Yeah, he's throwing people everywhere.
And the things he comes out with as well.
There's a bit where it's clear he's like snapped someone's neck, but it does look like he's popped his skull. So.
Yeah. Yes. So Michael Biehn in a sort of small role. So essentially, Nick Cage, we see Nick Cage, he's like this, he works for the FBI, but he's like a chemical specialist, certainly like diffusing terrorist attacks and things like that. And we can certainly see a bit of that at the beginning, where his mates goofing around in the chamber, they're doing stuff, and he sets off a doll with this corrosive
got
gas.
Like a sarin gas, I think they say it is.
Yeah, and it's corrosive, so it's eating through the suit, so they have to work really fast before the gas sort of wrecks them, things like that. And essentially, should we get into no, let's just say how we feel about it. It's awesome, right? It's a pretty awesome film. Really fun.
It's a really good film.
It's got plot holes you could drive trucks through, but we don't care. You don't
I don't
care.
know what his why Michael Bay made a film, sort of a few films in a row, where it's like, well, why don't we just teach the soldiers or the specialists to do this one thing that they've got to do, instead of getting the guy who's good at the one thing to do the specialist job, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Say with the miners doing astronaut work in Armageddon, we've got like a desk jockey and an escape artist who have to come join on a military attack. Really,
he likes that. He likes kind of amateurs getting their feet wet. Does Michael Bay, and also he likes experts doing things too, which we got lots of experts
doing things.
It was it felt a bit like Top Gun. It was that kind of feel in places.
I have to say the opening bit is probably one of the most Michael Bay things I've ever seen, where it's just a guy talking depressed in one of the worst rain effects I've ever seen. It's bright blue sky behind him.
Oh, yeah. He's getting to see visit his wife's grave, right? Yeah.
Intercut with military porn. and just like B-roll explosions.
Yeah. It's proper mad. So we rate this.
Oh yeah, and his wife's grave just says his wife. It's like, okay, yes. Like,
no, it says her name.
It says her name, but it says his wife.
His
not
wife.
Like beloved wife, or like she will be missed. Anything, like normal stuff to put
I hadn't noticed that. I didn't notice
wife.
that. I was paying attention to the birth and death date because I was trying to work out how old she was and then how old he was.
50 or something.
50. And it turns out, all right. Well, the plot is Ed Harris has been in charge of Black Ops, certain secret
off
operations
the books Black Ops
for decades. For decades.
Yeah.
And he's sick and tired of men who die under everything just being denied any kind of relationship to the US government, and therefore not getting payment for their families or anything, which is pretty crass, of course.
Yeah.
If it were true, right? So basically, it's
probably true.
There's a raid, isn't there? There's a raid. They basically
raid a
naval depot for these
a weapons depot to
VX gas, which are these very cinematic-looking green balls of death.
Yeah.
Basically, and they say, "Well, how deadly are they?" To Nick Cage, and he's basically, if it falls on the floor, it'll kill everyone in the room and a bit more. If it explodes 100 foot above the air, it'll clear out 10 blocks.
Yeah,
that kind
of
thing.
I like the weird bit where they've got everyone in like a boardroom, and the general's making his demands, and they're kind of explaining how strong the gas is. It's like it'll kill 70. There's a moment's pause, and he goes, "Well, 70 isn't that bad." And he goes, 70 million. And
I thought he said 70,000. He said 70 million. I thought I'll do it.
It's something absurd like that.
Yeah. So essentially, Nick Cage is there. He gets a call. He basically he's got his other half, his girlfriend, who we find out is pregnant, and she's Catholic and wants to get married, and he wants to marry her. But then as they're like having a bit of nookie, there's a phone call and he's got to go somewhere. He goes, it's probably a training exercise. Why don't you come to San Francisco with me and all this, or fly out to San Francisco? And then when he gets there, it clearly isn't a training exercise. These guys have taken a load of hostages in Alcatraz. They've picked Alcatraz because it's a fairly secure base off of the San Francisco, and they're gonna basically rocket San Francisco with this VX gas if their demands aren't met, which is $100 million, which sounds goofy these days. It feels like it's when Dr. Evil says, "I want $1 million," and everyone laughs. Let's lose change. That's our slash fund. Anyway, so basically, there's 83 men who deserve recompense who have died, and he wants $1 million for them, and the rest is for the team there, right? And I have to say the team's solid. We get Tony Todd as a really dodgy one, but Tony Todd's great.
Tony Todd's scary in this.
Yes,
Tony Todd and the guy who played Fry was his name. Gregory Sporleader.
Yeah,
that's that kind of crazy look in his eye.
Yeah, and it's the guy from Scrubs, right? The doctor
John C. McGinley. We were sitting, me and my friend, because I watched it with a friend. We were just sitting there watching it, and like he was in the background. It's like, is that Dr. Cox? Paused
the thing is,
that's Dr. Cox.
Yeah. I've seen him in other films, and he's really built. I mean, he's so muscular, it's ridiculous, and he's in like goofy comedies. He's one of them. And basically, all these tourists, there's like now you're going to see what it's like to be.
I think they say there's like 30 tourists, something like that.
I thought it was 80. But at one point, we also see him talk. Yeah. The captain talking to some kids in a suspicious way, but basically saying, "Why don't you tell your teacher you need to get on the boat and leave?" Because he doesn't want the kids as hostages, does he?
Yeah.
But then he talks to the Pentagon and sort of explains his demands. Yeah. But the thing is, the general talking to him knows him. They say, "Well, what's the problem?" And I want this. I want this.
They kind of started off kind of chummy.
Yeah.
So, talk to me, Francis. What are we doing here?
He might be talking him down, but essentially he explains. and he's like, we want this. And he starts saying, oh, yeah, there's money in this fund here to do this. And he says, Jesus, this is classified. And basically there's all this money sloshing around to pay for all this dodgy military stuff. And they're all like Marines. Essentially that's the thing. And they're on a 40-hour timer to come up with the money, otherwise they're going to rocket San Francisco.
They jump many times, like they do time jumps so many times in this, and it's always ludicrous.
Yeah,
like it's like, okay, we got 40 hours, and then it's like 12 hours remaining. It's like, what? What? It's like they just got there.
Yeah, and then there's a bit of talk about, well, no one's ever got Alcatraz. He goes, well, no. We know someone who might know the scene quite well. But it's all over. And Womack, who's like this, I don't know, senator.
He's the guy in charge. He's
he doesn't really want to open this can up, but they haven't got no choice. And then we see Sean Connery in
he's supposed to be the director of the FBI.
Is he?
Womack.
And he wants to keep this guy totally under wraps. We do find out later that basically this bloke, John Mason, isn't it? Is it John Mason? He plays Sean Connery. John Mason. He basically nicked all these microfilms and nearly made it across the Canadian border. And it had things like about Roswell and JFK and all this. But they managed to stop him. And they basically put him in a cell without a trial and threw away the key for 30 years. And they let him have books. He reads philosophy. That's it. Like The Art of War and things like that. And he's basically long-haired, long beard, and they get him in a room.
He's like a whelp, basically.
Yeah.
They get him and they get a pardon for him, which
they rip up immediately. Yeah.
Come on, man!
Yeah, what a dick. And then the tough guy.
The guy.
Yeah. So William Forsythe is the guy in charge of it on the ground, kind of thing. His name's Ernest.
Yeah, he's having to sort of handle everything.
Yeah, and
so he's like
he's
trying
pretty
to
tough.
He initially is the one that talks to Sean Connery.
He
does. Basically tells him to F off.
Yeah,
and then Nick Cage kind of comes in, and because he's being more honest, I guess Sean Connery's like a bit more upfront with him. It's like,
yeah. You
should start by offering coffee. It's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, coffee for my man.
And he wants a room at this hotel, and they agree. And he wants a haircut, and don't they make a joke about his hair looking like a grunge guitarist from Seattle?
Yeah. They say it looks like a grunge thing, and then later he's like, I guess it's a grunge thing? And the hairstylist is like, it's some sort of thing.
Yeah, they got a camp hairstylist cutting his hair.
Yeah,
it's a good haircut. Good haircut.
Like a hate crime. I've got to be honest. No,
it was fine though. Okay. It was fine, wasn't it? Yeah, got a good haircut. But then he's an SAS guy. He's got all these skills, and he's like picking up things as he's looking around and making plans.
And then he chucks Womack off the roof with like a little bit of string.
And then ties it to a chair and runs off, which means Nick Cage either has to chase him or stop the guy dying.
Yeah, he holds it. Yeah. And then we get an insane chase through San Francisco. Everything explodes at some point.
It's mental. It's proper mental. This is before the main story even starts as well. Yeah. And then Sean Connery, we find
establishing people's motivations. Sean Connery's like estranged daughter is living in San Francisco somewhere. So.
Yeah, but Nick Cage manages to somehow piece that together and realise where he's heading towards. And he does get to talk to his daughter, and he says, "Look, I'm really sorry." And she said, and she says, "Last time I saw you, they dragged you away," things like that.
And Nick Cage is listening in, and he walks up. It's like, okay, John, you've had your time. We need to get back to work. Sorry, your father's helping us out with some stuff. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so bit of respect there, right? Bit of respect.
Like he covers for him, and Maze is like, oh, Womack walks up in an arm sling. It's like, I should have you shot. He suspended him from the string by his wrist.
Right.
So, and then that shoulder has popped out.
Yeah, and then they get to the briefing with the SEAL squad, led by Michael Biehn, and they're sort of saying,
I love how complete take no shit Michael Biehn is, because he's like they're just looking over things, and Sean Connery's like, I guess the can't really see the route I took out of it on here. I mean, I could come along, and Michael Biehn's like, yeah, sure. And Womack and William Forsythe are like, absolutely not, we can't do that. And Michael Biehn's like, you're coming along. And then he walks up to Nick Cage, it's like, do you know how to do this? It's like, yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to do it, and I can walk you through it. He goes, no, you're coming. So.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. Sean Connery makes the point, look, I haven't got a map. I have to be there. I was in the dark for 3 days under the prison, working out the tides and the escape routes. So that's all I remember. So that's his justification for going in. Nick Cage just drags into it as well. Now, apparently, a lot of Sean Connery's lines were rewritten. He brought in the comedy writers, Dick Clement and Ian LaFrennay, who have done other stuff. You know, they did the new version of Dad's Army, but they're very famous in British comedy. They did Alvida St. Pet, stuff like that. And Connery wanted the lines perked up, and apparently they altered quite a lot of it. And the dialogue really sparks, actually.
Yeah,
I'm not too surprised.
It does. It's kind of actually, now that I think about it, it's like, his dialogue is clearly like written by British comedians, and Cage's and whatnot are like all written by American pseudo-comedy writers. So.
And Nick Cage specifically said, I want my character not to swear, which is why he's all gee whiz and gee and things like that. Whereas Sean Connery's swearing like a sailor. Which kind of made me laugh.
And it's weird, like, offhand stories about prison. It's like, oh yeah, I got used to it trying to avoid gang rape in the showers. I don't have that problem anymore. Maybe I'm losing my sex appeal. And it's like, what the fuck?
It's really cool. And I also like the fact they made Ed Harris not so much of a dick as he could have been. He could have been like the guys in Die Hard, say. But he was actually pretty good as a more humane bad guy, really.
Like, I do like that pretty much everyone's like, I agree with what you want, not how you're doing it. You've got to stop.
Yeah.
Like, even the president's like, God, it's a terrible what the military makes our men into. Launch the missile. So it's like, it kind of like steps on itself there a bit. So.
And apparently there's famously Bay had to go and see the things at the big cheeses at one point because they thought it wasn't going well. And Connery just asked, "Can I just come along?" And then had a go at them and told him he was doing a good job.
Like, it's probably difficult to survive at a council Connery like that, let alone like enjoy it. So
apparently he was dressed in golfing attire. And he just said, "Can I come along?" And just that's funny. That's funny.
I do like the fan theory that John Mason is James Bond.
There is a lot of that because at one point he goes, "I was trained by the best British intelligence," and he kind of twinkle in his eye. It could well be an old James. It kind of
was a bit. I thought, in the Thick of It movie where like some American calls what's his name, Malcolm Tucker, English. And he just goes mental at him. There was a bit where I thought that was going to happen because some guy like tries to fight him and goes, "My grandpa was Irish. I'm going to kill you, you Brit." I thought he was going to like tell us like, "I'm Scottish," and like
I thought he did, but he didn't. He didn't even bother. He just killed him, right? No funny one-liners.
Nothing really there.
So apparently they had Arnold Schwarzenegger in the frame for playing Goodspeed, which no Nick Cage and Sean Connery are where it's at here, right? This is a good pairing. Anyway, the film progress. They get into it, and then Sean Connery, they're in the basement. They get into a room with no apparent doors, and Sean Connery's. They're going, you've brought us to a place we can't get out, you fuckhead, and all this. And he goes, wait a minute. And there's this weird bit of machinery that's absolutely ridiculous.
This Alcatraz Underground is more like a Resident Evil game than the actual Resident Evil movies were.
Because
there's the weird like gears and fire room that they start in. And then they move on to just pipes. Like they're just kind of wandering through sewers. And then they end up briefly in what looks like a mine.
Basically,
mental.
you could have an entire town living in the basement of.
There's a bit where they end up in what looks like a shanty town.
Yeah, it's weird. It's mental. It's like the Planet of the Apes or something. You know, it's so weird. Or it's Futurama. But Sean Connery says there's this basically the only exit from this room they're trapped in appears to be not trapped, but they're trying to get into the main fort. This like, fire and gear thing, and Connery's like, "I'll go open the door," and they say, "How can you?" He goes, "I'm going that way." He goes, "You got to be kidding!" And he lies down.
And he just sort of like rolls through it,
and I have
they
to
like
say
have
that
to sit there and wait.
Michael Biehn did assign one of the Marines to not leave his side. And the Marine looks at Michael Biehn and goes, "Do I still have to stay by his side?" And Michael Bihn's like, "Nah." And he rolls in the fire.
For a few minutes, and it's like
he's
dead. He's
done a runner. And he opens the door and he goes, "Welcome to the Rock."
Which I know was in the trailer. Like that has to have made the trailer.
Yes. So. And essentially
here's where it gets a bit episodic because like they go.
Yeah. Definitely.
They do. Oh no, sorry. There's the shower room.
There's the scene with the shower room. I
hesitate to call it a fight. Yeah, it's kind of just a slaughter.
Essentially, they go up through a drain, but they accidentally hit a motion detector. So the guys in Alcatraz who've taken it are all above them, looking down into the shower stalls, and they come up and they're basically saying,
"I'm convinced this particular shower room is the basis for the Gulag in COD."
It does look like the Gulag in COD, definitely. I definitely thought of that when
Maybe it's just like a prison aesthetic, but that specifically looks like the old Gulag.
Yeah, it definitely does. It looks like that kind of... and basically, Ed Harris is like, "Stand down, you cannot win. We have elevated position."
He's just rattling off the
Michael
tactical
Biehn saying, "I cannot bite it all day." And Michael Biehn tries to talk around. And Michael Biehn tries to talk around and saying, "Marines, you took a vow to protect your country. You cannot be do this." And he explains that's why he can't give up his weapons.
We took a vow to defend America from threats both foreign and domestic.
He says. And he also... basically, Sean Connery, John Mason and Nick Cage's character, Goodspeed, are in below them, and there's one Marine still in with them.
Yeah, the guy they told not to leave Mason. Yeah, he stays behind, and all the other Marines are like shouting at each other basically.
Yeah,
and then a brick falls and gunfire starts.
Well, the guys above, one of the guys above knocks a brick over, which means the guys below start shooting. One of them, and then it all kicks off. They all die.
Panic starts.
The SEALs team all get shot up, and
everyone gets slaughtered.
Gets slaughtered. And the bloke that's by Sean Connery's side goes up voluntarily. Yeah. He goes up into it. Yeah. But Sean Connery and Nick Cage leg it. But they're saying, right, there's four rockets with this gas. They've got to deactivate the rockets. That's it. They've got to deactivate the rockets.
The Wikipedia entry says that there's 12, or was it 15
rockets? There was a couple of rockets per... Well, certainly the first one they went to, there was 2 rockets, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's a few, but there was only they only did it the diffusal 4 times.
There's never,
so it's kind of difficult to tell.
And what they do is take the chip out and smash it, right? That's what they do.
Yeah, they gotta kind of fish out the gas which is stored in little beads.
Beads of gas. Yeah.
And they have to sort of gently hold it, and I like the bit where clearly Nick Cage's character is in his element, and Sean Connery is absolutely not. So he hands him it. It's like, hold this steady. It's so he just puts his hands no, hold it steady. If you drop it, everyone dies. So Sean Connery's just got this wide-eyed look on it, so he's just holding it in the air.
Yeah, it's and at one point a bit later, Connery's like, "Well, I've basically decides he's going to give himself up to give Cage time." So hopefully, I think the thinking is they think there's only one down there instead of 2, and so he goes, "Right, can you do this?" And Nick Cage is like, "I'll do my best." He goes, "Your best? Wine is people
Wine
talk about
best. Winners go
Winners,
home and fuck
the prom queen. And he says Maria's the prom queen, or whatever it is.
He goes, Maria was the prom queen, and Sean Connery gets his, oh yeah, sort of reaction. I love that bit.
Winner, yeah.
And also the bit where he kind of like dramatically walks off and does a thumbs up, and Cage just goes, what does that mean? That doesn't tell me anything.
He goes, the thumbs up. Thumbs up keeps making me laugh because it annoys the shit out of Nick Cage.
Yeah.
That is funny. Meanwhile, they're both aware. Basically,
they drop I guess an air conditioning unit on a guy's head.
Oh,
the
yes.
guy's foot keeps twitching, and he's like, do they do that? Like, I don't really do this.
Is that normal? Can you stop that? He goes, do you want me? Yeah, go on. You say.
He goes, yeah. He goes, can you stop it in any way? It's like, well, I can try killing him again.
That made me laugh. It was kind of awesome, frankly.
Yeah.
Some great dialogue, great scenes. It was silly. Some places it was silly, but it was just so entertaining. This long film too, wasn't it? Actually, there was something else I was going to say. Yeah, so Nick Cage is going off and trying to do these things, but with these Marines hunting them. But then Sean Connery gets confronted by the. He gets taken, doesn't he, to the Ed Harris?
Yeah, he gets taken to Ed Harris's character, he's doing like a, if you don't give me the guidance chips, I'll shoot this hostage. And Sean Connery's like, I already destroyed them. And he kind of has like a bit of a verbal spar with him for a bit.
Yeah, he calls him a fucking moron, doesn't he? At one point. Oh, and then at one point he goes, identify your name and rank, and he goes, Captain John Patrick, SAS, and they sort of say, listen, Marine. He goes, I'm a soldier.
Yeah, I'm not a Marine.
I'm a soldier, which is amazing when you think they're called the Special Air Service, which is an airborne thing, but he was a soldier. Yeah. That made me laugh because everyone. Americans love their Marines, but we're more soldiers, aren't we? Really, in the British.
Well, we're more RAF because of the whole cultural Battle of Britain stuff. But so they kill another 7 hours at this point. Yeah. So there's like 45 minutes or something like that remaining, and they do a bit of a funny thing where like Cage is he's kind of going nuts in his cell because they've chucked him in some of the Alcatraz cells.
Yeah.
He's like, what's he say? Says something about Zeus.
Someone says, I'm going to skin you alive, and he's like, he's mimicking them and stuff like that, wasn't he? And things like that. He was just annoyed.
Yeah, but there's just like Sean Connery's like doing stuff. He's like ripping up bed sheets and whatnot, and then Cage goes like, so I get how like we got from like through the tunnel, then through the thing, then in the showers. It's like, but how did you get out of your cell? And Sean Connery's like pulls a thing and his cell door opens. Like he's like lassoed with the bed sheets that he was ripping up while Nick Cage was ranting.
Yeah,
he just walks
Doesn't
out
he say something like trade
it's like professional secret.
Yes, yes. There was another bit. I should have mentioned at one point, quite early on, Sean Connery's about to just leave, isn't he? Once all the Marines die, but Nick Cage is like saying, "But your daughter's in my girlfriend, who is pregnant, is in San Francisco. We got to do something about." And he does come back. Well, basically, Cage gets caught, but then Connery just kills the bloke who's.
I don't think John C. McGinley could have died harder. Like, he got set on fire, and then him and Sean Connery were hanging by their hands off of
that
train
was mental.
Track.
That was
and
so
then Sean
ridiculous.
Connery like tied him up and kicked him into the water below.
Yeah.
And I guess he drowned. He was dead a lot of times over. Basically.
It was really tough. That whole row coughing was ridiculous. It was like an adult version of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, wasn't it? It was like, it was properly
it was
mad violent.
Especially stupid when Nick Cage got knocked into like a hanging basket thing and went along the ropes. And then the Marines got into one themselves and started travelling along the ropes.
And shooting
at him. And it's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, it's
what
mad.
What is this movie?
Yeah. And also at one point, in Nick Cage pockets one of the green balls, doesn't he? He puts it in his pocket.
Yeah, this is a bit later.
Yeah, a bit later. He stuffs it in one of their mouths.
Just kicks it, like punches them. But
then he has to inject himself in the heart. This is right at the end, actually.
This is right at the end. But so basically they reach the deadline, and the general's like, I don't want to launch it. Like they launch one, and he deliberately screws it up and like sends it into the ocean. It's like I couldn't do it. I can't do it. It was all.
And he's saying,
"This is."
And
over.
actually, Sean Connery calls it earlier. He says, "I've looked at me now. He's not going to do it.
Yeah,
he's not a killer. And you know, he's not a killer of innocent people. Sean Connery's not worried at that point. He's not going to do it. Right? He's not going to do it. Don't worry.
But then all the other soldiers. After it whiffs,
when we did this, we stopped being Marines, became mercenaries, and mercenaries get paid, is what they're saying. Things like that. And they're super angry, so they kind of take over at that point. And there's a massive gunfight.
Yeah,
then Harris dies.
Quick, very brutal gunfight where Ed Harris and who is it? There's like another guy that's kind of on his side die.
But most of the others aren't. They're on the
it's Tony Todd and the other guy.
The thing is, they're not going to get paid if they anyway. So it's so weird. It's so weird. He said they called our bluff. We tried to bluff. They called it. It's all over. It's all over. That's what he said.
But then they're like clearly like, we want to fucking launch the missiles into a civilian's area. It's just kind of for the fun of it.
Yeah.
So Tony Todd has a brief scrap with Nick Cage. Then they sort of circle around each other as he's trying to like defuse the last missile. And Tony Todd stood in front of the missile, and Nick Cage stood at the launch button. Is like, you like music?
Oh yeah.
It's like, what do you mean? It's like, I think you'd like Elton John. He's like, what do you mean? It's like, I think you're the Rocket Man. It hits the button. It launches Tony Todd out the window.
Yeah, and then he falls on a massive metal spike as well.
A giant rusty metal spike covered in barbed wire.
I mean, as if a rocket firing you into the air isn't bad enough.
I thought that would be it, but no, it just carried on.
They rubbed it in. And basically they've got this special thermite which will burn everything down, including the hostages.
Like plasma thermite.
Yeah, including the hostages. We don't get mentioned much, these hostages, do they?
No, they get like two shots where one of them's complaining to the tour guide that's also stuck with them. It's like, why don't you have a gun? It's like, we're not allowed to carry a gun in a prison.
Yeah,
it's like, I'd have bought my gun if I knew what was going on.
Yeah, we say it, but that we don't get that. I reckon there was probably more of that. And
there was probably loads of like B-roll of the hostages doing.
But it was
stuff.
a long film, so they probably cut it all.
Yeah, this was like 2 hours 20 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah, and essentially Nick Cage gets gassed himself, but injects himself in the heart with his stuff, and then rushes to the place to put up flares to say they've succeeded.
The display point where he like sets off these green flares.
Yeah.
Green flames. And
they don't look green, though. Do you notice that?
They look orange.
Yeah, it's weird that they were all going green flares, and it's like, where? Where's the green flares?
Yeah, but I find it funny, like, they like, he's there, he's doing the Apocalypse Now bit.
Yeah.
And they spot him, and they go, call off the airstrike. And it makes the pilot jump, so he accidentally fires the missile.
But he fires one of them. It's not that.
Yeah, he fires one of the missiles, and he's like, "Oh no, I just."
Which it doesn't hit direct, but it hits enough to throw Nick Cage into the water.
It launches Nick Cage so far.
Yeah, and we see him kind of drowning and sinking, but Sean Connery pulls him out.
Sean Connery comes back and gets him out.
And he goes in the radio, and again, Goodspeed. He goes, yes, sir. He goes, good work. Is Mason with you? Womack's really good. He goes, what? And John Mason, Sean Connery looks at him.
And he goes, no, he was out of
his body was vaporized. His body was vaporized. So it's that final explosion covers John Mason's tracks, right? That's vaporized. Is that possible? He goes, oh yes.
Yeah, it's like at some point the woman kind of it's like, can you actually vaporize a person? Like genuinely asking stuff.
Yeah, I like William Forsythe though. He goes, where's Mason? He goes, he was vaporized. He goes, vaporized her. And he kind of smiles.
Yeah, he's just like a damn shame.
Does not believe a word of it.
Yeah.
And then, but also, just before he goes, Sean Connery goes, well, where are you going on vacation? He goes, Mary goes, no, don't go there. Go, I don't know, some backwater place.
Yeah, he tells him to go to like this place in Kansas.
Kansas.
Like, I'm a big fan of there. And
it's
he leaves like
hollow
a
chair leg or something, or pew leg. And he goes there, and you see the parson chase him out. Yeah.
The pastor chases him out, and they're driving away in like a just married car, and he's looking at a little microfilm, and he's like, "Hey, honey, you want to know who killed JFK?"
And it ends.
Yeah.
Apparently, there was plans for a sequel where Mason and Goodspeed are chased by the authorities for the microfilm, right? And
like
honestly, I thought a bit of National Treasure, which I've never seen, but it kind of felt, it was in that realm. What a great film, right?
This is an amazing film.
Solid action film, really, really solid, really enjoyable. Any final thoughts?
No, not really. You're kind of put into the actual talking about the film. Look, this is a really good film. Like, it's in the positive end of my sort of spectrum of ratings. So
I mean, it was both action packed and fun, right? And funny, and funny too. Good funny lines.
Very important.
It was Sean Connery coming out with all sorts of shit. It made me laugh. Because he said things like, "Might as well, prison or being dead. It's the same thing at this point for me." And things like that. I really, really thought this was solid. Weirdly, it got mixed reviews. Some people were kind of average on it, and some really liked it. But I don't think there was any bad reviews as such. I just thought it kind of went from okay to great, depending on which critic or whatever you follow. Anyway, what would you give this?
I'd give this an easy 8 or 9. Honestly, this is really good.
Yeah, I think it's probably a top 10 action film for me. I'd give it an 8. The equivalent of 8, or 4 out of 5, or 8 out of 10. Very solid. There are,
we didn't even mention the weird gas attack at the start where Nick Cage has to defuse it, and his assistant is just going nuts about the size of the needles that they'll have to stick themselves with.
Oh yeah. That foreshadows.
Look at it. It's huge. You want to stick this into my heart? Are you insane?
While his suit's melting. Well, we mentioned the suit melting, but we didn't mention that specific bit, did we? It was. But that foreshadowed what Cage had to do, right? Yeah. So you kind of knew that was coming. But he made much less fuss about it. He just did it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, didn't look like he did it to his heart, though, to me. It looked like in the middle of his sternum.
Oh, yeah. It looked like it was down in his stomach somewhere. Like his gut.
Yeah, weird. But very solid film. All right, then, let's... so that's our Daisy. So it'll be my pick next time from... There's quite a good choice in this one to go with.
You want to go with some Sean Connery? You want to go back and watch a Tarzan film? Just off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of other stuff, but I can't really.
Well, it's my choice. I'll have a thing. I've got an idea, and I'm going to tell. In fact, I have got a very specific idea. I'll tell you off it. I don't want to spoil it for people, but I'll tell you off air, and I might change my mind as well. So we'll do that. So okay, that's it for us then. So bye from me.
Bye.